So boys, this really isn't spoken about enough. This will literally lower your testosterone and also lower your sperm counts. It also isn't good for your health in general. I'll get into what it is in a bit. I need to leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger. But you probably know why you want high testosterone. Yeah, it gives you nice gains, but it also gives you more motivation. It gives you like better mood, increases the possibility of you taking risks. All of those like cool masculine stuff that you and I both want. Sperm count probably isn't spoken about as much, but you probably have the general idea. You want high sperm count so you have healthier children, and honestly just increase the sheer likelihood of you having children at all. So even that in itself, you want high sperm count, you want high testosterone. Now you might have heard of ingredients called S-sulf-MK and aspartame. If you haven't, trust me, you probably have in it today. I have like a nice list of things here that has it in, but literally almost everything has these ingredients in. So like toothpaste has it in, chewing gum has it in, protein powders, I'll get into protein powders in a bit though. Protein powders has it in, cough syrups has it in, yogurt has it in, cereal has it in, and then like your usual suspects like fizzy drinks, ice cream, dairy, those sort of things also has it in. Now, I want to circle back to the protein powder very quickly though. Protein powder is typically like your sweetened one. So aspartame and S-sulf-MK, these are basically just sweeteners. So instead of putting in sugar, companies have started putting in these sweeteners. Especially if you look at like diet cold drinks and all of that, they've started putting this instead of sugar. And yes, it is non-calorie or like low calorie sometimes. So yes, it is going to like lower your fat percentage and all of that, which is all good. But in reality, it has a bigger downside in other respects. So it's a matter of which is the less of two evil. Like, would you rather have like some extra fat through the sugar? You shouldn't be having that much sugar in the first place, but let's say you're having sugar. Do you want to lower your actual calorie intake, or do you want to like lower your testosterone and sperm counts? Personally, for me, I would rather lower my actual like fat percentage or increase that a bit, but that's a side rant. Now, the problem is, aspartame in particular. I'm going to get into S-sulf-MK in a bit, but aspartame, that lowers your testosterone, it can lead to kidney damage. And then it gives you like mood swings and all of that. This depends on the person, so it's not like it's going to give everyone mood swings, but it has shown in like some significant studies to give you mood swings. So like a lot of people are saying like they have like depression and all of that, and they could. But it probably is also just that their diet is screwed up. Like I'm not even talking about S-sulf-MK and aspartame now. These things in general, where there's even like, I'm going to sound really crazy now, but even bread. Think about it. If you look at the ingredients in bread, like I'm sure most people watching this now already knows seed oils are bad for you. At least the bread I'm getting like the shops by me in South Africa, if I look at the ingredient list, for some reason there's seed oils in that. Why on earth is there seed oils in bread? And it's these small things where unfortunately we are at a state that we need to like investigate and analyze every single ingredients on the stuff that we buy. Because maybe I'm just stupid, but most of the ingredients on the stuff I'm buying, I do not know what they are. And for me, that's the first bad sign. Why is it this big word that I literally have never heard of in my life? So I go and Google search, and sometimes, like 10% of the time, it's something that's like perfectly fine, fair enough, I don't mind having it. But 90% of the time, I find something like, again, aspartame or S-sulf-MK, where it's like, whoa, hold up. This thing is really bad for you. And I really think this is why, like, obviously not the main reason even, but it's a big reason why a lot of men these days are like depressed. A lot of men are like having suicidal thoughts and lacking motivation. They want to stay in bed the whole day, do nothing. I think it's largely based on your diet. Now, the solution to this, as a check your ingredients list, or even go simpler, this is what I've done in fact. Just have the same meals every single day, more or less. Sure, it's going to get boring, but honestly, my productivity is through the roof ever since I started doing this. Like you probably, if you just go back on my YouTube channel, I've uploaded a video every single day for over 6 months now. I'm a university student, I'm freelancing, doing video editing, coding. I also do surveys on the side. I literally have, I wouldn't like want to toot my own horn and all of those things, but I would imagine that my productivity is in the top 1%. Even if like I'm a 22-year-old man, for my age group it's probably even higher than like top 1%. Because a lot of guys my age aren't doing much, at least guys around me. Anyway, that's a separate matter. I don't want to get into my ego. What I want to speak to you now about like restricting your diet. What I'd have for breakfast every day: 3 eggs. I eat the egg shell as well. I made a video on that, but consider eating the egg shell, but cook it first. That's TLDR of that. But they also have like a protein powder that doesn't have any of these like nonsense sweeteners in it. I know what every single ingredient is. If you want to like even make it simpler for yourself, just have pure 100% whey. That's not what I do. I'm not gonna lie. I have a mass gainer because I'm a bit skinny. But if you want to like fully down in your productivity, literally just have 100% pure whey as your protein powder. I tend to have a protein powder with my eggs in the morning. Then afternoon for lunch, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes increase your testosterone, good stuff. And then I also have typically half a chicken, so like 4 pieces of chicken. Supper or dinner, that now I tend to eat with my family, so I have whatever they're eating. But even they are restricted, so like literally, like we have a lot of curry, so I have the curry, but lower the amount of gravy I have, and I have no rice or close to no rice. Rice isn't all that bad, but it's a bit processed, so it kind of impacts on your productivity. But in all honesty, I wouldn't go that strict on the rice. It comes down to like the naan breads and the rotis and all of that. If you're like a brown guy like me, then avoid those things. But if you're having like the usual Western sort of diet for like your dinners, I would avoid the pasta. Pasta is not going to help you out. I said avoid the bread. Generally, you want to have a few veggies, even that, don't go overboard. And you want to have a lot of fats. Fats now gets a bad rap, but you probably see movements in the space, like even in the health space, where they're finding out that, hey, fat actually wasn't that bad for us. So I generally have a lot of butter. Just be careful with the butter. A lot of butters have vegetable fats. You want to find a butter that's literally 2 ingredients. It has cream and it has salt. That's all you want in your butter. And then you can have stuff that has ghee. Ghee is also like basically like butter. Don't use any oil unless it's olive oil. Olive oil is fine. And don't have stuff that has like seed oil or even vegetable fat oil. None of those things you want. In my country, at least, I believe this would be an international thing. You get what you call spray and cook. So it's like you use this greasy spray thing that makes it not stick, basically. Don't use that either. That typically is made with seed oils. Don't have any like crumb stuff or processed stuff in general has seed oils. So I know I'm sounding quite extreme and this started off as a video on like self-MK and aspartame, and I still do think that's big stuff that you must avoid. But it goes deeper than that. You need to really dial in what you're eating. I do think there's a bit of a placebo to this in the sense that if you like keep it in your mind that, hey, I had like this bad thing yesterday, my productivity is going to be down today, then it's actually going to be lower than what it otherwise would have been. So don't get crazy about this. I'm actually going to be making a video soon about how you mustn't over optimize in self-development. This is something I'm guilty of, because I want you to imagine this quickly leading into that video. But think about this. Imagine the student that has his mind focused on optimizing the small things, so like sleep schedule, eating schedule, all of that. So he's optimizing all the small things, and yeah, sure, he's going to get good marks. But imagine on the other side, a student who's just focusing on getting good marks. Naturally, by focusing on getting good marks, or good grades, I know some places call it grades, you do know that student's probably going to do better because he's focusing on getting good grades, and in focusing on getting good grades, he's naturally going to do all the optimizing anyway. So I think in like the self-development space, we do approach a bit backwards. We are instead focusing on optimizing the minor things like sleep and all of that. And that's good. But I think we should instead be focusing on the end result. So in other words, what's the end result here? We want to be productive young men, and we want to be healthy young men. So by just focusing on those things, we can optimize everything else. But we shouldn't be optimizing everything else to get the end result. If you get where I'm coming from, I'll be diving into that more in a future video though. With this, bros, bit of a longer video, but I'll see you in the next one to become a better man.